Just really quick before you start, I'm looking for followers for Ingenious Technologies. So if you could quickly go to Ingenious Technologies and do a follow, that would be great.
On LinkedIn. On LinkedIn.
On LinkedIn, yeah, on LinkedIn.
And I reshared your post, so they should see it.
Oh, you did? Oh, cool.
Yeah, of course I did. Anything for you, buddy. We want more followers. We need more people to know. Spread the word. We got a few things to talk about today. So Wi-Fi in the news. So it was like a Wi-Fi bomb threat on a plane.
Not good, man.
Pretty crazy, right? Turkish airline emergency landing. They had to like scramble fighter jets and then have like dogs like go through the plane when it landed. That to be an
This was a
prank.
This was a hoax, right? This was
it's a prank. So like some guy had a hotspot on the plane, and he put an SSID that said something like, "I have a bomb. Everyone's gonna die." on the SSID. Now I didn't realize you could even make an SSID that long, but you said that you can.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can do pretty long SSID names, but if you have like a Raspberry Pi or something like that, you could do whatever you wanted, right?
Yeah, of course.
It was probably a Ubiquiti travel router. That's what it was.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it was. But I think there's a 32 character hard limit. I looked it up. But that's pretty big. You could write some things in there, right?
32 characters, yeah.
Yeah. You could write some things, but you don't want to do it, not because it's bad to do any hoaxes like this, terrible, but you don't even want to do it for efficiency, right? Like you want to keep the SSID as short as possible.
Yeah. Yep.
Because it's in the long, complicated. Right? So I mean, I think good practice is keeping it short.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I ran a ask chat, what kind of SSIDs can I create with 32 characters, right?
Yeah.
They're pretty long, like ingenious dash, secure Wi-Fi network.
Yeah.
Guest Wi-Fi conference room, MDU resident, private wireless LAN. It really knows what I've been looking at. IoT devices, segmented network, Wi-Fi 7, high density access point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it depends on, you said it was a mobile, it was a hotspot. So did they say what the device they were using?
No, it was pretty, all the articles were pretty light on details as far as like what he did, because they don't want anyone doing this again, right? Like it's not a good thing.
Yeah, I wonder what you can do on the on your iPhone. How many characters?
Yeah, I mean, you could probably do.
Can you have
start a hotspot on your iPhone too, right?
iPhone hotspot.
But definitely don't do that. Don't do what this guy did. That was like pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's stupid.
It's like basically like announcing that you're,
Oh, so it's 32 characters on the iPhone as well.
Okay, so you can make some crazy long SSIDs with messages in them if you want to do that. So that was interesting, but don't do it, right?
Yeah, don't do it. That's
so. So over to like the ESG. You wanted to talk about the ESG new diagnostic features, right? So now I'm putting up the screenshot that we just did of the gateways diagnostics. So now you can look at if there's any CRC errors, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you can look at transmit and receive packets.
Yeah.
Along with CRC errors, which you and I have used in the past, and it's really helpful.
Yeah.
So from a remote troubleshooting aspect, I mean, that has saved me a lot of time. I would say probably like 5 times I could save.
Me too. If somebody has a bad cable, right, you can not only see link speed from the cloud, but you can also look at CRC errors. So if there are CRC errors to the gateway, that's really bad.
Yeah, it's really like even as simple as like we've talked about this before, like the Ethernet cable is not plugged in all the way, that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, we've seen that. I've had one customer that he has the switches in the closet, and his end users go in the closet and like, pulling the cables, and he's gone to the site multiple times, and the cables that they haven't been pushed in all the way, right? They're pulled out a little bit.
Yeah, or the cable's just bad, right?
Yeah, or it's a bad cable. But that's
Yeah.
the way to see it. If that cable isn't fully seated, you're definitely going to get CRC errors.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
So you can see this on the WAN ports and the LAN ports of the ESG series.
yeah, that's
So so what you're running fiber on your WAN 1, is that right?
I have a fiber module in there, so
Oh, fiber.
yeah,
Then copper, is that what you're doing?
fiber
Or?
copper module. So
Okay.
yeah, my cable modem is just a copper 2.5 gig. So I have that copper module in there to connect it
Yep.
to the ESG620.
So you can run it. What I was going to say is the diagnostics. You can run it on fiber. You can run it on copper, whatever
Yeah.
it may be. But yeah, you can look at transmit, receive, and then CRC errors. And then if you're not familiar with the diagnostics, we always provide CPU usage, memory usage, and then throughput. And the throughput can be you can set it to your WAN port, like depending on the WAN port that you're using, you can set it to like WAN 1, WAN 2, or whatever. So you can look at the throughput per port. And then you have obviously like other diagnostics like speed test, ping, trace route for that, and packet capture as well.
That's great because you want to start at the gateway if you're running into problems and see if there's any CRC errors or any throughput problems there. It's going to go to the rest of the network, obviously. So you want to start like as close as you can to the provider, right?
Yep.
So, all right. So while we're talking about hardware, there's a new access point, ECW 536S. So that's the security access point. Now this is a tri-band access point.
Yeah.
With 6 radios, right? 3 scanning, three dedicated online.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to process that.
And spectrum analyzer on all 3 bands.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I'm not running one yet, so I haven't actually looked at all the interface, like what it can do. But yeah, it has a spectrum analyzer. The spectrum analyzer can run on 2.4, 5 gigahertz, and 6 gigahertz, which is a really great tool. So you're running basically a spectrum analyzer wherever that AP is mounted, right? So you can look in specific areas. So if you're running a full set of ECW 536s, you can basically check out you can run a spectrum analyzer throughout the whole building if it's in a building, for example.
You need to send me a demo. I gotta do a review on it. If you have that.
I think I will do that. Is you got to do a long form like review though, because we do have I do have influence reviewers, but they typically some of them go in great depth, but I don't know if they would go in great depth on the what we have is called AirGuard, and that's the special thing about this AP is it has Wi-Fi security, so like it prevents like man-in-the-middle attacks, DOF kind of things. You can do, it's going to detect it, and you can do containment as well. And then it also has a BLE radio on there too to detect BLE as well. So, and then zero DFS. So, if you're running on 5 gigahertz and you're using DFS channels, this, enable zero weight, you're constantly scanning DFS channels and looking for clear channels. So if the channel that you're on and there's radar detected, by law you have to jump off that channel and scan again. Well, this device is already scanning and it already knows, right? So it just flips you to the other channel. Whereas if you're running a normal AP, there's a big disruption where your client devices they'll be dropped off basically. So you got to be careful with that.
So if you're in an area with DFS, like near a military base or something, then you may want to use all of these ECW 536Ss. But most
Yeah,
people probably only need a few in their network. They can use regular
yeah.
536s.
And it actually happens a lot more than what you would think. Like I know you said military bases,
Yeah,
but you have to think about police departments, military bases, airports,
yeah,
like some manufacturing facilities. There's a multiple things.
yeah,
Probably near a hospital. All types of stuff.
yeah, yeah. There's a
You
lot of
know, like when we get a troubleshooting, like if somebody comes in for a tech support and they're like, "Yeah, my SSID stops broadcasting," or like it's a weird Wi-Fi
yeah,
instance. You're like, "What the heck is going on?" When you look at the logs, you can see that it's detected radar. So you have to change
right.
channels or reconsider like your channel setup.
Yeah, you can see it in the logs. Like I have seen it before when customers had that sort of problem. So it's good that you see it in there, and it's not just it. Just think if it wasn't cloud managed, it'd be like, hey, my SSID is disconnecting. What's
Oh,
going on? There's no way to know, right?
yeah,
Um,
that's just insane to think about, right?
yeah,
Like
and that's the way it used to be.
nowadays,
That's
it's
the way
like,
it was.
yeah,
um,
yeah, you drive 2 hours away, you spend 4 hours out of sight, right?
yeah,
You might not even figure it out. It's
well,
like,
because that radar was not there when you're on site. Um,
yeah,
so all right, so while we're talking about Wi-Fi hardware, so there's some price increases coming this way, like for the whole industry because of memory prices, right?
yeah, heck yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, basically all the data centers are gobbling up all the DDR5 RAM, and we talked about it a few weeks ago. Like I was looking to build a PC, and for 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM, which used to be $100, is over like $400 right now. But there's like
yeah,
a
crazy, right?
400 500% price increase if you can get it. A lot of the manufacturers actually backing out of like consumer memory production because of all the data center projects and all business contracts they already had in place, right?
Yep, yep.
So even though most network hardware devices don't use that much memory, right? Like they don't require that much memory. um
Yeah, but the things you got to think about, and this is what we're saying. Like, okay, so gateways definitely memory, right?
yeah,
So you have gateways. You definitely have memory and access points.
yeah,
You have memory and cameras, right? You have memory and switches. But like the more accessory stuff, you don't have to worry about PoE injectors. You don't have to really worry about.
right,
But these devices, some have a small amount of memory to like gateway has a lot of memory, and
yeah.
so do cameras, right? So these are the things you gotta like kind of think about, that you could potentially see increases on. So, um, but yeah, you wanted to mention something else about that. What are your thoughts around that?
Well, I also think so. One, but if you have any projects coming up, buy now because
Yeah,
it looks like I've gotten messages from a bunch of manufacturers that it looks like February is when it's going to start hitting. So yeah, you can probably guess who the others were. Um,
yeah,
but I think it's a short term thing because basically, there was like X amount of memory volume going through. The chip fabs were like delivering what they needed at whatever price, right?
yeah,
Now we got this big bump because of data centers, and so they're going to shift production to like just max out as much of this memory as they can, and the price is going to come down again, right? They're going to like flood the market, um, because like they're not like making CPUs, right? They're going to switch over to memory because you know this is where it's like scaling huge, right?
yep,
So they're gonna move production, and I think price is gonna come back down. It may even like plummet. So like I'm not building a PC now. I don't think anyone's gonna and I don't even think the data centers will buy at this price. I think they'll just wait, or who knows? Like, um, we'll see. Um,
yeah, yeah. That's an interesting thought. So yeah, that's what I assume. Like when you talked about it a few weeks ago, before it became like you didn't really hear a lot about it. Now you're
Yeah.
hearing a lot about it, right? So like when you mentioned it, I was like, oh well, it's just going to go back down, right? So, um, but it's probably over a longer period of time than normal, right?
Mhm.
Um, which is really weird because the way that it's been kind of talked about is like you don't know what the price is going to be. It's going to be higher. That's what you know.
Right. It's
Like, and you
market.
better order it, and you better order it, and you to get it, and uh, you don't know what the price is, but the price is going to be higher. That's kind of like
Right.
what
Well, I
what
mean,
kind of
or it could be lower. Like, so all the distributors are saying, like, if you try to order DDR5, they tell you that the price isn't guaranteed until it's allocated. So you could order some this month, and maybe next month you get allocated, and the price is double, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
when they're going to ship the order. So, or next month when you're allocated, the price could go down. Like, it definitely could go down, right?
yeah.
But are you willing to risk it? It's like it all depends on your
No,
bank.
I think you. I do think you need to think about it on like a longer
Yeah.
strategy than anything. You do have to cover those costs. So the other thing that you have to think about, and what you brought up, is that our current, like, okay, so we have inventory. We have inventory at our factory. Like, we keep very little inventory at our factory.
Mhm.
When we produce, we try to produce and move it like immediately.
Yeah.
So once it's produced, we have stock here at our location, and then we have stock at our logistics warehouse, and then we have stock at our distributors, and
Mhm.
then we have stock at some of our partners. So that all that stock is not affected, but anything produced and moving through will eventually, that lower cost product will eventually move through, and then you'll have the higher cost product that we have to increase pricing, right? So back to what you were saying before, if you have projects, you should buy now, or if and uh, you obviously have sales history, certain AP that you sell, or a switch or a PDU that you sell. I would bring in a few of those just to have them for projects like coming up, that kind of
For
thing. That's
sure.
the way I think of it.
For sure. So that's our little take on it. But yeah, in general, prices are going to be going up on a lot of things, iPhones, everything. Unless, I mean, like, Apple has a huge supply chain. They plan for this kind of thing. Everyone does. But
Yeah.
if the price doesn't come back down, then prices are definitely going up. That's the bottom line. Um,
Yes, for
and
sure.
soon. um,
Yeah.
so, okay, a couple other things, couple of EV things I want to touch on. FSD 14.2.2.2. I've had a 30-day demo of it, and I just wanted to give my thoughts. Now, it's expiring today. Um, so you'll probably eventually get one too.
Yeah, I'm not sure why I didn't get one.
Because you're on hardware 3, like it's not
Oh,
yet
that's
out
why.
for
Okay.
hardware 3, but they said there will be a version, and then you'll get that one, a free trial, that one also. But I had to do a few things, so I had to drive me around. Like, here's the differences. Like, it's really good. Like, it will notice things in the road. um if there's any debris in the road, it'll try to avoid it, pedestrians, animals, anything like that. It's like,
That's kind of scary. That's a
yeah,
little scary.
yeah, it is. But I mean, again, you always have to be paying attention, because you don't know what it's going to do. You have to be ready to take over at any second.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But it's like much better. The speed profiles now, where they tuned them in. So there's like a chill, there's like a sloth mode, there's a Mad Max mode, and a standard, right? So
Hmm.
if you put it in Mad Max, it doesn't. When it first came out, it would just go like super fast and pass. Do like try to do 85 on the highway. And it was just, it would like immediately pass if anyone was going slower. Now it's like watching the traffic flow and kind of trying to match it, match the speed, right? So that's smart. If it sees somebody in back of you, it'll pull over into the lane. It's not it's not holding the left lane. Before, the older FSDs would like stay in the passing lane.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I've noticed though is if you're on the highway and it's gonna take an exit, it never wants to slow down to merge into traffic to get over to take the exit. It always tries to go faster. Like so, and there's sometimes like it'll miss the exit because it just can't get over, right? So a couple things like that, but big with this one, I did a lot of parking testing, and I made a video when I was like one of the first to get pushed this 14.2.2.2, and
Yeah.
it got like 11,000 views already, and I did some simple parking tests like around my town, and I got it to like park in my driveway. So and a couple times it backed in, a couple times it pulled in forward, which it's really strange. Like it decides like on depending on how it can see with the cameras and the light, whether it comes home, it opens the garage door, and it tries to back in, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And yours, you've done that with the previous FSD, but just like manually, right? With Summon. I think you pulled it out of your garage, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I have a really tight garage, so my daughters can't get in on the one side, so I would pull it out.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so, and a couple other things. So they integrated Grok. You have Grok now, the
Yeah.
AI assistant in the vehicle. Now you can tell it where to go. So you can tell it your destination, and we'll put it in the navigation and start going there, which is good. That's actually really, you can do multiple sites too. You can say first I want to go to the bank, and then I want to go to the grocery store, and then I want to go to the gym, and it'll like route you without having to put any text input in. So that's really good. And it also knows, like, you can ask it what your tire pressures are, what your battery level will be at your destination and round trip, and if you're going to need to charge, Grok will tell you all that now. You
Oh,
may be
that's
able to
cool.
try that with yours. Like, actually, if you're navigating somewhere, ask it
Hmm.
what your battery level will be when you get there. I think it has that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just basing it off the car, right? The car already tells you that, right? It's
Yeah, but
just giving it to you in
early on,
voice.
you couldn't tell Grok anything. It wouldn't have any connection to the car. It was just like you could just ask it questions, right? You like you would.
Yeah, it just kind of sat there, and it wasn't like integrated, right, into
Right.
like what the car stats are now.
It would.
But I guess
It
you're
actually
saying
not.
it is.
And some people like on this version, people are like, "Oh, you can tell it where to park. You can be like, oh, park over there to the right." It'll like talk to you, but it won't do it. It'll only. I did a test with it. It'll only navigate to destinations. Um,
Yeah.
So you can be like, drive to the gym, it'll go there. But you can't be like, when you get there, I want you to park over to the right, because I don't want to park in front. You know what I mean? Like it won't do that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
but yours should be able to send navigation destinations. Try that out. Be like, tell her you want to go home and see if it puts it in the navigation.
Yeah, I'll try to do that.
Um, so that was pretty cool. And IONNA opened a new rechargery relay in Connecticut. So this is the first one. Like the IONNA is like the fast charging network to rival Tesla. Like they're building out like all over the place. Um,
Yeah.
and they're opening we used one in Apex, North Carolina on one of our trips. And it's set up like an old time gas station. It has like a cover canopy, and there's a little store you can go in, buy
Yeah.
snacks and use the bathrooms. And I think you saw that video. It's pretty cool. Um, this doesn't have that. This is just like chargers out there with some businesses. So I'm gonna go check it out. It just opened yesterday. I'm gonna take the Rivian out there and be one of the first to charge. So that's
Sounds fun.
I know, that's my weekend. But there's
That's
actually
your weekend.
there's actually a good restaurant there. So we're gonna hit that up after work, and
Yeah, I'm not sure why gas stations don't have a charging area. Wouldn't you do that?
I mean, some do like like the
Oh,
Bucky's.
I
Yeah,
haven't seen them.
you don't have Bucky's out there, do you?
No, we don't. Not
Uh,
no, we don't.
so yeah, it's on the East Coast. Like it's down south, kind of. They're like giant gas stations with they have food and stuff in there.
Yeah.
And the other one is Sheets. You have any Sheets?
I'm familiar with Sheets. I'm familiar with both, but no, we don't have them.
They're,
The
what
one
they're
the one I know and is the best is Wawa.
Wawa. No, I don't
Yeah,
know if they're charging yet. Who's the other one? It's Circle K. Circle K has a
we
big
have
parking
Circle
lot,
K's. Yeah,
and they're probably in California too.
yeah, we have smaller ones here though. But yeah, we do have Circle K. There's different ones, but
But
yeah.
look for IONNA. If you need to charge it, you don't have the adapter though. Do you have the CCS adapter? I don't
I
think you
don't
have
know.
it. You don't need it though. IONNA has the Tesla connector, NACS connectors too.
Oh, okay.
So if you ever see, you'll see it. They're bright blue. And not that you ever need the DC fast charge very much, but if you're heading somewhere without a supercharger, that's the other one to try.
That's the one to do.
Yeah,
Okay,
you want to do
that's
for
good to
sure.
know.
All right, Brian. Anything else you want to talk about this week?